Hey, what's up guys? We're over here in Friendswood, Texas. Man, I'm excited about this one. You know what I wasn't doing at 19? I wasn't flipping houses. And these two guys came to me, Harrison and Max, a couple weeks ago and said they had an interesting property they wanted checked out. So we're gonna walk the property with them guys. Stay tuned. We're gonna break down all the numbers. My name's Hard Money Joe. I'm a real estate lender, kind of done it all from flips and rentals to now lending our own capital. I think this one's gonna be awesome, guys. These two 19-year-olds taking a lot of initiative, getting into house flipping, and let's listen to their story.
My name's Max.
I wasn't ready. We're gonna be here all day.
All right, my name's Max.
I'm Harrison.
And we are flipping a house at 19 years old. This is our house. It is in Friendswood, Texas. It is 2,500 square feet.
We had a wholesaler reach out to us. He sends me properties every couple weeks usually, and he found this one in League City. It's about 7 minutes from my house in a great area next to the high school. Big lot. A good amount of work to do, but a lot of potential in the house.
So, high school started, I was that kid that sold candy, would go by the dollar store, buy candy, sell it to people. Then I started with shoes, reselling shoes, kind of gained a little bit more capital. Then after shoes, started doing gaming computers. Then this Christmas, I had 26 gaming computers total. Sold all of those, got some capital, and we're just moving up. Now we're selling houses. So that's my story on how I went from $0 all the way up to now a house at 19.
I've been making money for a few years now. I started with shoes and clothes, kind of reselling clothes and stuff like that. And then I started a landscaping company, did some Christmas lights, and over the few years just saved up some money. End of last year, end of 2024, we bought our first house in Friendswood. I actually 50-50 with my dad. Got it all done, and we decided I was going to move into it. So didn't get any money out of it, still a lot of money in it, but that was our first one. And then we bought one in League City. We have one in Galveston. Both of those are on the market now, getting ready to get sold, hopefully. And then decided I wanted to do one without my dad. No offense to my dad, of course, but more control of the different things that go into the house and all of that. And so me and Max decided we were going to split one. I've been saving up money for a long time, knowing I wanted to invest in something. My dad has always been interested in real estate, so that was almost a mentor to get into it. And then really just an opportunity came to us with our first house that I ended up moving into. And from there I was like, dang, flipping will be a good way to build equity or build liquid cash. And I kind of always knew that long-term rentals would be somewhere I wanted to go and something I wanted to do just for the long-term money, passive income, a good place to put my money and let it be. But I didn't know how I was going to get there. So once we got that first flip, I knew I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. I need to figure out how I can do more of these.
My grandfather actually owns some properties over in Florida. He has some houses in Destin, so me and my family every single year go to Florida kind of as a family and get to live or like stay in his houses for a vacation. And so I've kind of always in the back of my mind known that that's something I wanted to do just because I'm able to take my family. So in the future I can take my kids and their kids and whatever to my beach houses or wherever in the world I want to go. So I didn't really know how to get there, and then Harrison and his dad did that first one, and I was like, oh, let's go along for the ride. And so it seems pretty lucrative, and it's actually pretty fun being with your best friend, being able to throw wood and burn it, and work on the house and different things like that, and work on your craft. So that's kind of where I wanted to go, and that's where I am now.
The foundation, no, they didn't scare me at all. The houses we've done, the house I live in now is I think 1.5 inches in some areas. We decided not to fix it because it would pass code. It was like barely to where it would pass code. The one we did in League City had to be redone, and it ended up being like $4,500. And it's something that growing up, I was like, oh, foundation's really expensive. Never want to touch that if I ever do flips. But like now that I get into it, it's like, oh, it's not all it's hyped up to be. We plan on letting the contractors get the inside. They're gonna get all the inside done. And then I guess also end up painting the brick, of course, and doing the siding. And the roof, of course. But we're in the backyard. We've already taken a tree off the garage. There's a big old tree falling on the garage. We've already taken that down. We've already got a couple of these down. We need to take these two down, hopefully. But there's a lot in the back that we've chopped down and burnt. Different things like that. And then, yeah, that bush needs to be taken down. We're gonna redo the landscaping right here. And then we're like, okay, we have an extra $9,000. Where can we spend it? Where can we add value somehow? So we projected we closed sooner, but got pushed back to early February. And then we projected about a month and a half for rehab. And then list hopefully somewhere around the 2-month mark. So that would be April, which is when our first interest payment should be. And then hopefully sell in about 2 months.
Yeah, so you
Month and a half,
closed,
2
what,
months.
3 days ago.
Yeah, closed 3 days ago. I think we've been
3 days
funded
you've done.
72 hours-ish. And with there and there, they've destroyed everything. They've already taken all our walls out. They're getting the recessed lighting done. Their foundation's getting done. Should be done tomorrow. Oh yeah, roofing's halfway destroyed, but they're waiting on the foundation to get the front destroyed.
And the same day we did, the same day we actually got funded, me and Harrison were here already.
Oh yeah, went ahead and bought a chainsaw and just got to work in the backyard.
Same day.
We were hoping, we paid $315. Closing costs, I think it ended up coming out, I don't remember how much they were, but basically the loan is 401, something like that. And then we paid $30K at closing. So we're in 430 right now. We have different things. I think other than that, we'll have the selling cost, which 10% usually, we got appraised at 565. So 10% of that's 55. 10% of that's 55, so what? 485, 490 we'll say. If we sell it for 465, that would be 75K profit. We're hoping to put, we use all that contingency budget actually, raise the value, do as much as we can basically to get it up for closer to 600 and see what we can get.
All right, guys, so I'm just going to interject quickly, give a little breakdown of the closing costs associated with the transaction, and really just kind of the, what would be in the ideal purchase price. So here's the HUD. As you can see, Max and Harrison brought $28,446 to the closing table, right here, $28,446.93. Well, they also bought this from a wholesaler, and it's very typical for wholesalers to request a larger non-refundable earnest money. So as you see in this line here, they had $5,000 in. Now everything else was added to the HUD. They had their insurance here on the HUD. So their total out of pocket was the $28,446.93 plus the $5,000. So it's $32,446. So, roughly, $32,500 to closing. Now, the rehab came in a little bit higher, but they were okay with that. And as you heard in the video, they are going to use the contingency. So this was the total rehab here. It's held back in escrow so that we can release their funds as they do the work. It's $97,775. So with these numbers, and we know that it appraised for $565,000, let's do a quick estimation on the total value and did they buy it at a good price, right? So obviously the target is always the 70%. So let's go ahead and plug in $565,000 here. And guys, this is a free cash to close calculator. It lets you do different loan scenarios depending on what your lender, kind of what their programs are. So we do 70% loan to value. The rehab budget, that was again $97,775. And they bought it for, look here on the HUD here, $315,000. And you can see how they have, roughly $33,000 cash to close. Now, with these two numbers, what would have been the ideal purchase price? I still think they got a good deal. It's a good area.
and it's a higher priced property. But using $565,000, we're going to times this by 0.7. Then we're going to reduce the rehab budget, so 97,775, I believe. Yep. Okay. So 298 roughly would have been a home run purchase price. They got it at 315. There's some underlying factors here that it sits in a good area. They're harder to come by where they bought it from. So paying just above a 70% deal, it's not the end of the world. It's a little bit more out of pocket. So the extra $315,000 here, is going to come out of pocket. Altogether, I think these guys have a really good deal, and I think that they are going to do well. They're going to profit kind of what they're estimating as long as everything stays on track.
Yeah, you want to go walk the back? All right, so when we first got this house, there was this tree right here had fallen on top of the garage. So there was from the hurricane. So this was all destroyed. The roofing was actually fine. So me and Harrison had to take all these things into the backyard and burn all of that stuff, which, yeah, the garage was pretty bad. The garage door still open. Everything seemed pretty good, but as we come back here, this was a massive covered patio, but it was terrible. Whoever built it before obviously didn't know what they were doing. It was absolutely horrendous. So we kicked that down, and after that we're gonna add concrete. So we're gonna do 10 feet that way, and then that's another 35 feet. And then, so we're gonna do this whole entire pad concrete, hopefully have a back patio with some chairs, a TV, a little fireplace, something like that. As well as clearing all of this out. This is absolutely horrendous. So there was actually a tree right here, we cut that down. There was also a tree over there, we cut that down as well. This has been me and Harrison's living area from 6 to 8 every single day. Back here, chopping, cutting. This was basically a mini forest. So we've been chopping, cutting, adding everything to our big fire. It's Friendswood, so nobody really cares. And our neighbor actually helped us out with some extra wood that he had. So currently working on this back corner, which is kind of far away, but that back corner, that whole entire tree had fallen down. And so we've been picking that up, taking the truck, driving it over here and dropping everything off. This house is sitting on half an acre, so it's actually a pretty big property. We got plenty of space back here once it's cleared and things like that. So we're kind of getting the vision of more open concept, more open back here, just to for the people who buy it next. We do have an issue back here with some water. It is pretty open concept. It was extremely closed off when we first got it. There was actually a small countertop right here and some cabinets. It was very closed off, very tight. We did not like that. And so we cut that down. Here's our kitchen. This is where you walk into the kitchen. There was also a wall here, which was super closed off, very tight space, not much room, as well as this wall too. The ceilings we have taken down. We have gonna add brand new ceilings to everything, and hopefully just make it a little bit more open concept, because this house was built in the 80s, so it's pretty old. So we're gonna add some modern spice to it. This is our little mudroom slash washer and dryer. Very weirdly, there's also a bathroom, a secret bathroom. Yeah, a very odd spot. Not sure why they would add this as an option, but what can you say? It was the 80s, so people were crazy. It is a 4-bed, 4-bed, 2.5 bath. As we walk into the master bedroom, pretty spacious area. When we first got the house, these ceilings were completely fallen down. It was absolutely horrendous. Make our way into the master bathroom. So here's our master bathroom. It's a very odd layout. This is actually a closet, as well as that is a closet. There's a lot of doors. We're honestly thinking to do a little those folding doors that you just slide over to kind of optimize some space. brand new countertops, brand new standing shower. That's going to look amazing. And then that's your little single bath. So not the biggest, but definitely spacious enough for somebody to sit in. Make our way. Yeah, they're doing foundation right now, so it's going to be kind of hard to get in there. But they're doing foundation work currently. To the left is a small little bedroom, as well as our bathroom. Yeah, small bedroom, bathroom, and then to the right there are 2 bigger rooms that could be used as the bedrooms, I'm guessing. And then some closets. Pretty simple stuff. It's kind of boxy. It's pretty simple. So there were some ugly fans up here. We didn't like them at all. Yeah, so we're gonna do that beam as a darker wood grain, as well as wrap it to match the wood on the floor. We're gonna do some recessed lighting just for extra lighting, as well as we're gonna do some ceiling to floor big windows right here, which are gonna look amazing straight into the backyard. You're sitting on half an acre. You want to be able to see it, so add that there.
So this shower pipe, I mean, it's soaked in here, but this, I think it was this one, it has a little piece that came off, basically made it all leak. So it was leaking right here, it was leaking right there, it was leaking in this room, it was dripping through these holes right here onto the floor, and then it's also leaking back in the laundry room. And
was the water switched off?
it was switched off when we got in here. I turned it on yesterday, right? They came and turned it on today, the city did, and then we realized, oh crap, it's leaking. So yeah, I just talked to the contractor. He said $2,500. They're gonna replace all the plumbing that's in the attic. If they see something that's leaking in the walls, they'll go ahead and get that too. Yeah, we already opened it. This came to right here. It had that siding all over it, that through the whole living room, but they pushed that back. So that'll be painted white. Walls will be painted a light gray. Ceiling will be white, and then floors will be like a dark brown. Kitchen we're doing, quartz, and then like a gray rectangle backsplash, silver rectangle backsplash. Yeah, all through, and then we'll do a big island, quartz island. That's the biggest part of the budget. Those are crazy.
Yeah, that's insane.
We're gonna redo all the siding on the peaks right here, and then all the siding up and around the house. And then we'll paint the house white, gray door, gray like different gray accents, and then black doorknob, and then we'll add the address number on the side of the house right here. At the first couple we did, it was like me and my dad would come back and do the small stuff, and that was like, we realized fast, this isn't gonna work. At my house I live in, I still haven't done half the electrical outlets. Yeah. Half the electrical outlets are uncovered and like, yeah.